Hi everybody, welcome back to the Master Flow Plumbing YouTube channel. Today we're on location. I'm getting ready to go in and do a job service call here, but before I do I wanted to show you guys something cool. Sorry if I'm breathing a little heavy and if I'm a little sweaty, but we're here in Michigan in the dead of summer and it has been hotter than a stolen tamale here. It was so hot that earlier I saw a dog chasing a cat and they were both walking. That's how hot it is here, folks. Very humid, very hot. About 90 degrees with 100% humidity. So with that said, I want to show you a tool that I came across. This is actually a pipe cutter for cutting PVC pipe or plastic pipe in general. I've tried it out a couple times. It does work pretty good. And it is a lesser expensive version than the red company or the yellow company that makes one. And those of you who know exactly what I'm talking about. But to turn it on, it's got a power button right here. You'll squeeze this trigger twice, it'll open up the jaw. And that will allow us to cut up to 1.5 inch PVC. It resets itself. I can go in here and I can cut it again. Just like that. It actually does a pretty darn good job of cutting PEX tubing as well. You see, it does that. Well, it gives us a nice square cut, so we don't have any kind of, angle on the cut or anything like that. It also saves the trouble when you cut PVC with a sawzall or a hacksaw. You end up with PVC dust all over the place. So if you're on a job inside of somebody's kitchen and you just need to cut a piece of pipe, right there by their kitchen sink, boy, this is just a neater way of doing it. This thing's got like a little battery gauge on here to tell you how much is left in the battery, as well as the power button. It came with one battery. It's about if I'm not mistaken, about $135 on Amazon. The one from the red company and the one from the yellow company are well over $300, I believe. So I've never bought one simply because of the fact that, well, I'm old school. I just soon use the saw and sweep up my mess when I'm done. But for this price, hey, I'm willing to try it. So to turn this thing off and close the jaw, you have to actually close it and shut off the power at the same time. And that's how you shut that and do that. And here's a picture of the box, that it came in. It seems to be working very well. But if you notice, it says maximum cutting is 2 inch. So the thing to remember with that is that plumbers in the plumbing industry, we measure pipe by the inside diameter. So 1.5 inch pipe it's not quite 2 inches on the outside, but it's close. A piece of 2 inch PVC is actually closer to, 2 5/8, something like that on the outside diameter. So it will not cut 2 inch PVC. Maximum size is 1.5 inch PVC, but it will cut smaller. So you could cut all the way down to 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch PVC. The same thing with 1.5 inch PVC, and the same thing with PEX. You can go all the way up to 1.5 inch PEX with it if you'd like. You might be able to squeeze a piece of 2 inch PEX in there, but gosh, I don't see a lot of people working with that these days. So probably not much call for that. Just another neat tool to add to the arsenal. And I do apologize, my truck is a mess, and that is always a sign of a busy plumber. So with that said, I'm going to give this tool an A+ rating. It's made by a company called Nexon, and we'll put a link down in the description. It does come with a 1-year warranty, but we'll put a link in the description where you can buy one on Amazon. And like I said, I think it was about $135, $140 or something like that. And it wasn't a lot of money, for a tool. But as always, here at Master Flow Plumbing, we're always looking for a better way to do things. And this is actually going to make my life a little bit easier in some aspects. So with that said, you folks have a good day.